Hey guys, welcome to today's Leetcode video. Today we're going to be looking at Leetcode 501, find mode in binary search tree. We're told that we're given the root of a binary search tree with duplicates and we need to return all the modes, i.e. the most frequently occurred elements in it. If the tree has more than one mode, we can return them in any order and assume a binary search tree is defined as follows. The left subtree of a node contains only nodes with keys less than or equal to the node's key. So basically, we're just given a definition of what a binary search tree is. But basically, all the node values on the left of a node is going to be less than on the right. So one of the key things we need to keep in mind is we need to return multiple modes. So if you're in school, for example, you can probably do some recall and say, let's say in this example, 4 is the mode and 5 is also the mode, as they both occur the same amount of times, but they're also the most frequently occurring elements. And we're given some constraints over here, and another example with 0, just returning 0. So the way we're going to solve this problem is first of all creating a hash map, putting all our node values in that hash map, and we can go through our binary search tree using depth first search, and then once we've got all our values and the corresponding frequencies of how frequently they occur, then we can return the most frequently occurring elements. So let's get started by creating our hash map. I'm going to call it counts and set it to a default Python 3 dictionary. And now let's create our depth first search function. So just like any other depth first search function, we want to make sure we run on both the left and right nodes. And obviously we need to have a base case as well. So if not node, we just need to return. And the condition we're going to have here is setting the node value to its frequency. But we can't just increment like this in Python because we'll get an error. Because if it's the first time we're running, first time we're coming across a value, it's going to be null. So what we need to do instead is say count.get node.value, and by default that's just going to be equal to 0. So we set a default value of 0, and then we'll increment it by 1. Amazing. Now let's run that function, so that DFS function on our root. And basically, once this piece of code has finished running, our counts dictionary is going to be full of node values and the corresponding frequencies of how often they occur. So now we can find out our max count. So, and our max count is just going to be using the max function and count.value. So this will tell us what the maximum amount of times an element has occurred in our list, or in our binary search tree. And then we can now iterate with the value and frequency of counts.items. Change that to counts. So now we're going to look at all the values as well as the frequencies in our hash map and say if the frequency is equal to our max count, well then we've found one of our modes, because there may be multiple. And if so, well, let's create a result list and append our value to the result list. And we can simply return our result list. So now let's run and make sure we passed all the test cases. An invalid error. Counts.items. Oh, for value of frequencies in counts of items. I think that's a syntax error on my part. ways in. So we passed both test cases. Now let's submit. Now submission is also successful. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.